what it do, what it do, man. What it do, man. Late night live, baby. Late night live, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. I'm in my man cave. I'm in my man cave right now, man. And man, it's 4th of July, man. Y'all already know what I'm finna do. It's the 4th, baby. Damn, man. How could they do this, man, like this, man? How can they do Trump like that? It's okay, though. It's all good. It's all good, baby. It's all good in the neighborhood, you heard? It's all good in the neighborhood, you heard? I hope y'all enjoyed that live video from earlier, man. I didn't want to end it, you know what I'm saying? But I was out and about taking care of some business, so, you know, it is what it is, man. But I got a couple more clips I really want to show y'all guys, man, but I don't know, man. It may be too late. You know what I'm saying? I don't see too many people in the room, so shit. Nobody probably can care less about watching anything else I got to show, but you know, it's all good though. I ain't mad at nobody. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep it 100 with you. But what I'm finna do, I'm about to pop me some fireworks. I'm gonna pop me some firecrackers, and then get on that Trump train, man. I gotta get on that Trump train. Straight up. We gotta make some moves like Nike shoes tonight. Yeah, I'm doing good, Mr. Hunter. I'm doing good. Just waiting on 1201 to hit. About to go out there and shoot some fireworks and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll let y'all see what I got. I didn't buy too much stuff, man. I just got me a little personal, got my own little personal bag or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just gonna get out and do my thing. Have a little fun. You know what I'm saying? Take the night out. That kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? So what y'all guys thought about the video, man? What's up, Terry? What's good? What y'all thought about the video, man? Ain't nobody commented on the video. What y'all thought about that video, man? What y'all thought about that vid? Show y'all these fireworks I got real fast, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I had a couple of clips. I was trying to hold on to them and play them tomorrow, but I'm gonna go ahead and play them. Go ahead and play them for y'all tonight, man. Let me show y'all what I'm working with, though. Now, if you came up like I came up in the country, y'all remember these here, don't you? These joints, the ones that you can hold in your hand and let them suckers just fly. So I got these. I got me a pack. Well, I got more than one pack of these. I thought I had bought 3 packs. Just another pack right here. Got a pack of these jokers right here. I used to just hold them suckers in my hand and just let them shoot. You know what I'm saying? And these right here, I'm not too for sure what these is, man. I just kind of like just went in there and just picked up some stuff. I just know it's 6 to a pack. They was kind of cheap. So I don't know if they the ones that you just light and just blow around or whatever, but I got these right here. Let me get this bag open. And I know y'all guys know about these, man. Who don't remember them? Who don't remember those famous firecrackers right there? See, what I used to do, right, when I was a kid, we would just take one of them and just light it and throw it. But now I just like the whole pack. So I got 1, 2, I bought 3 packs of them. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Not too for sure about these. Don't really know what they are. But I got 2 packs of them. If anybody know anything about the shotgun jumbo color smoke bombs? Yeah, that's what they are. Smoke bombs. I got 2 packs of those. I don't know what this is right here. I just picked them up. They say Army smoke. I got a couple. I think I got more than just 2 of them. No, actually, that's all I picked up was 2 of them. Then I got these suckers right here. I like these, man. I got like 3 of them. Nope, I got 4 of them. Might have more than that. Yep. Got another one. I got 5 of them. Then I got some, nope, damn. I got 6 of them. Then I got some of these right here. Not too for sure what these are. Nah, I'm not in the South, man. I'm in Washington, Georgia. But why I keep smelling them? Because, you know, like when you buy some of these things right here, man, they like be leaking powder and stuff out of them. And I just like the smell. You know, it's weird. I know. I get it. And I got these right here. Not too for sure what these are. I think this came off the bottom of this. Yeah, that came, see? That came off the bottom. It'll still work. Then, well, yeah, got another one of these. I think these are the joints that you light and they just spin around in circles and stuff like that. So I didn't really buy a whole lot of stuff, man. Just something to do, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be bored as shit, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'll be bored, man. Like shit. Get out and do something, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm about to play this clip. I got a clip I want to play to y'all guys, man. This speech that Trump held after he was granted immunity. I'm gonna go ahead and play that. And I get this stuff up right here. Let's get this TV on. Let's see. Should I run it loud? Let me see. Which one I want to use? Okay, I want to run it off of this one. No, because this one don't have a lot of charge on it. And I do not want the phone to die, so I'm going to use this one to play it for y'all guys. So work with me for a minute. Let's see. Let's go to my channel. 1 second, guys. Y'all definitely don't want to miss this one. I promise you. I promise you, you definitely don't want to miss this one. I promise you that. You definitely don't want to miss out on this one. And I'm trying to get it up, guys. Y'all got to stick with me. Y'all got to stick with me. Oh, shit. Is this it? Oh, they playing it live. Yes. It's live, guys.
After the break, I need to go to the bathroom. Let us get one more, and then we'll do that. Chair recognizes Mr. Timmons for 5 minutes, then we'll take a break.
I'm finna change it.
Coming up anyway.
Oh, I'm finna play it. I'm finna play it. I'm looking for it now. Okay. Yep, let's get this thing up here, guys. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Where we at? I'm looking for it.
It's the kind of thing that if your 5-year-old grandson were sitting up here and you get...
Here we go. Let's go.
And you gave him a quiz, he would say, don't bother with the electric. There's another thing. The truck is so heavy because batteries are very heavy. The truck weighs more than twice as much as a gasoline truck. So what happens, a diesel. So what happens is they have to fix every bridge all over the United States to handle the weight. Every bridge has to be rebuilt because the weight is double and triple that of a gasoline or diesel tank truck. And you say to yourself, who are these people that are destroying our country? Why are they Why are they destroying our country? Why is it that they're destroying our country? All of that stuff is going to end. We're not going to have men playing in women's sports. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. The weightlifter. You see the weightlifter? They break a record by like 130. A record stands for 18 years. And they're putting a quarter of an ounce on one side of a barbell and a quarter of an ounce. That's what it is. Just if they could beat it by a half an ounce. And they just can't do it. They tried in the Olympic trials. A young woman, beautiful young woman, rather muscular, I must say. Rather strong looking, beautiful woman. She gets up and her mother's in the front row. And her father's in the front row and her relatives, everyone's rooting for her. Come on, baby, you can do it. She gets up, she can't do it. She can't. She gets up to here, I can't. No, Mom, I'm sorry, Mom. And this goes on and on. Nobody was able to do it. Then this person that transitioned, lovely. He transitioned, recently transitioned. And they said, do you lift? Not much. Are you good? I don't know. I'll tell you after I try. And he goes over it. Did you see this? Boom. Ding. Throws it down. Then he says, why don't I practice a little bit up here? He does it. The whole thing is crazy. Swimming the same thing, running the same thing. It's so demeaning to women. But these people can only want to destroy our country. Who wants open borders? Who wants men playing in women's sports? Who wants all electric cars? And by the way, I'm a big fan of electric cars. And, you know, it'll be a certain group of people that are going to want them where they travel short distances. I'm fine with it. But you have to be able to get gasoline, diesel, lots of other things. Or hybrids. Hybrids actually are, I think, a much better solution. You have to be able to get it. So we're going to do all these things. You know, basically, the Republican Party is a party of common sense. It's a party where we want closed, very strong borders. We don't want drugs coming in. If you really want to get rid of drugs, you go with the death penalty, but I don't think the country's ready for it. I would do it in a second. You know, every drug dealer, and everybody here knows people whose family was devastated by the loss of a child because of fentanyl. But if you went with the death penalty, you would have no drug problem in this country. Instant, if it was a meaningful, not a trial that lasts 400 years. Like China, I was with President Xi. I said, do you have a drug problem? No, he didn't even know what I was talking about. He's got 1.4 billion people. I said, do you have a drug problem? He goes, no drug problem. I said, how do you do that? Essentially, he said, the death penalty. They call it quick trial. They have a trial, and it's quick. And by the way, isn't that breeze nice? You feel the breeze? Because I don't want anybody going on me, we need every voter. I don't care about you, I just want your vote. I don't care. See, now the press will take that, and they'll say, he said a horrible thing. They'll say, you know what they did? I was just doing a little imitation of this horrible, worst president in the history of our country. So I imitated him a couple of times getting off the stage because he's unable to find a stare. Look, stare, 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 stare. All over you have stairs. When he finishes his 1.5 minute speech, you know, his speeches last for about a minute, never takes questions. When he does, he picks up a thing and he goes, let's see here. Jill of NBC. Yes, where's Jill? I'm here, you know, right now. Because they put her there. So she'll read it. What flavor ice cream is your favorite? And then he picks up the thing, vanilla. Think of it, what they do. You saw me in the White House, it was like war. What they do is they give the guy the question and the answer. They never did that with me. He's reading the answers to questions. Nobody's ever seen under him because the border's so bad. But the number of drugs.
We're live from Georgia, a key battleground state in the race for the White House. In just moments, the current U.S. president will debate the former U.S. president as their party's presumptive nominees, a first in American history. We want to welcome our viewers in the United States and around the world to our studios in Atlanta. This is the CNN presidential debate.
This debate is being produced by CNN and is coming to you live on CNN, CNN International, CNN.com, CNN Max, and CNN Espanol. This is a pivotal moment between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump in their rematch for the nation's highest office. Each will make his case to the American people with just over 4 months until Election Day. Good evening, I'm Dana Bash, anchor of CNN's Inside Politics and co-anchor of State of the Union.
I'm Jake Tapper, anchor of CNN's The Lead and co-anchor of State of the Union. Dana and I will co-moderate this evening. Our job is to facilitate a debate between the two candidates tonight. Before we introduce them, we want to share the rules of the debate with the audience at home. Former President Trump will be on the left side of the screen. President Biden will be appearing on the right. A coin toss determines their positions. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer a question and 1 minute each for responses and rebuttals. An additional minute for follow-up, clarification, or response is at the moderator's discretion.
When it's time for a candidate to speak, his microphone will be turned on and his opponent's microphone will be turned off. Should a candidate interrupt when his microphone is muted, he will be difficult to understand for viewers at home. At the end of the debate, each candidate will get 2 minutes for closing statements. There is no studio audience tonight. Pre-written notes, props, or contact with campaign staff are not permitted during the debate. By accepting our invitation to debate, both candidates and their campaigns agreed to accept these rules.
Now, please welcome the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden. And please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Get him, Trump. Let's go, Trump.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin the debate, and let's start with the issue that voters consistently say is their top concern, the economy. President Biden, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120. And typical home prices have jumped more than 30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president and what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do was try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out the position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. But there's more to be done. There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come of a household where the kitchen tables, the things weren't able to be met during the month. It was a problem. Price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. And we're going to make sure that we reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over. The combination, what I was left with in corporate greed, is the reason why we're in this problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos.
You didn't do that.
Literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people, to $15 for an insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. And the situation is we're going to make that available to everybody, to all Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Thank you. President Trump?
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID. And when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country. But other than that, we had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, a bounce back from the COVID.
Yep.
He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Thank you. President Biden?
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world, he's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks that he had the greatest economy in the world. And, you know, the fact of the matter is that we find ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised the deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant. And the military, you know, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still finding ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
Stop lying.
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
Am I allowed to respond to him?
Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up. You can do whatever you want with the minute that we give you. I want to follow up. You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cause countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China, it's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. Now, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing. It was the worst, probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both of your administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt, while so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt. So, former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before, and we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet, the oil and gas right under our feet. We were going to have something that nobody else has had. We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable situation with all of the therapeutics and all of the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it, something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done. We've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country. And I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24% or 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million, billion dollars, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence. And it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people, they cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex, but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, and getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was an end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now. And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also. And because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby. What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they're all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that. Here's the deal. There's a lot of young women being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous. And they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
There have been many young women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world, considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which frankly they didn't. But they would have, everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back, and many presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last, no politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
So that means he can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
That is simply not true. The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration and border security. President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. Significantly, by the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border legally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now, all terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere, all over the world they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open, and he didn't need legislation.